हरिः ओम् नमस्सर्वेभ्यः। अद्य कृदन्तप्रकरणस्य 55तमः पाठः। अस्मिन् वर्गे तृतीयं करपत्रं स्वीकृत्य उपपदस्य उपस्थितौ प्रत्ययविधानं कथं भवति इत्यस्मिन् विषये चर्चां प्रारभामहे। प्रारम्भे वन्दनं कुर्मः। So actually, one of our senior attendees, senior members of this course suggested me today that let's open up today's class with a small prayer aiming for the world peace in light of various natural and man-made problems that different parts of the world are facing currently today. So let's start up today with this Shanti mantra from Yajurveda. The Samhita Patha is there on the screen, but I will speak the Pada Patha so that the meaning becomes clear. Try to speak along with me and then we will resume the regular class. Om Dyauhu Shantihi Antariksham Shantihi Prithvi Shantihi Apaha Shantihi Oshadhayah Shantihi Vanaspatayah Shantihi Vishve Devaha Shantihi Brahma Shantihi Sarvam Shantihi Shantihi eva Shantihi Sama Shantihi edhi Om Shantihi Shantihi Shantihi. येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयं नमस्कृत्य तदूक्तिः परिभाव्य च वैयाकरणसिद्धान्तकौमुदीयं विरच्यते। सिद्धान्तकौमुद्याः अस्य वर्गस्य प्रयोजनानि एकवारं पश्यामः। सिद्धान्तकौमुद्याः कृदन्तप्रकरणस्य सर्वेषां सूत्राणां विस्तारेण अध्ययनं, यत्र आवश्यकं तत्र अन्येषां व्याख्यानानां साहाय्येन शास्त्राध्ययनं, सर्वेभ्यः धातुभ्यः यथा योग्यं कृत्प्रत्यययोजनं, कृत्प्रत्यये परे रूपनिर्माणप्रक्रियायाः अभ्यासः, तथा च अष्टाध्याय्यः तृतीयाध्यायस्य कंठस्थीकरणम्. There are a couple of points I want to discuss on this particular slide and then we will move on to the subject matter. So somebody actually emailed me a very important question a few days ago in the light of recently learned pratyayas, ka pratyayah, sha pratyayah, ana pratyayah, ach pratyayah, ete sarve pratyayah अस्माभिः अधीताः। अतः अस्मिन् सन्दर्भे एकः प्रश्नः आसीत्, एते प्रत्ययाः सर्वेभ्यः धातुभ्यः योजनीयाः वा उत विशिष्टेभ्यः धातुभ्यः एव तत्र तेषां प्रयोगः कर्तव्यः? So that actually directly relates to this third line on the screen, sarvebhyah dhatubhyah yatha yogyam krut pratyayyojanam. So I just thought that I'll make this clear for everyone that not all krut pratyayas are applicable for all dhatus. We have to resort to the sutras to understand which krut pratyay is applicable to which dhatu. So just because, for example, if you apply a sh pratyay to gama dhatu, maybe there are sutras in Ashtadhyayi that will let you do the prakriya, but that does not mean you should apply sh pratyay to gama dhatu or say any random pratyay to any dhatu. There must be a pratyay vidhayakam sutram in the beginning. Otherwise, you simply say that asmad dhatoho ayam pratyayah na vidhiyate. So there has to be sutram as well as there has to be shishta prayoga or there has to be abhidhana, there has to be usage of that particular prayoga in the loka. And and this particular point becomes more and more important when we move on to this third sheet, because all the way at the beginning of this third sheet, we have karmanyana, which gives the ana pratyaya, which by default is given for all the dhatus, but we only see the usages in the loka and then decide whether the particular pratyay, this particular pratyay is to be attached to a certain dhatu or not. So, sarvebhyah dhatubhyah yatha yogyam ityukte yatra panini sutraihi no chet shishta prayogaihi vidhanam bhavitum arhati तत्रैव कृत् प्रत्ययस्य योजनं करणीयं तदनन्तरं तत्रैव रूपनिर्माणस्य प्रक्रिया कथं भवति इत्यस्मिन् विषये चिन्तनम् अपि करणीयम्. Finally, I'm very happy to inform that we have at least one student. I mean, maybe there are more, but there is one student who reported back to me that the student has successfully completed the entire third chapter of Ashtadhyayi, memorizing the entire third chapter. So congratulations, and I hope in one of the upcoming classes, I'll just request the student to recite a few random sections just to give energy, or just to give a push to all those people who have started efforts in the recent days. So with this introduction, let's start the subject material. इदानीं पूर्वकृदन्तानाम् अध्ययनं प्रचलत् अस्ति. पूर्वकृदन्तेषु कृत्याः अस्माभिः विस्ताररूपेण अधीताः, ऋवलादयः अपि पूर्वेषु वर्गेषु सम्यक् रूपेण दृष्टाः. अद्यतनवर्गे तृतीयं करपत्रम् अणादयः प्रारम्भिकं सूत्रं कर्मण्यण तृतीयाध्यायस्य द्वितीयपादस्य प्रथमं सूत्रम् इत्यस्मात् अद्यतनवर्गे अध्ययनं प्रारभामहे. So before we jump to this whole business of karmanyana and application of pratyayas in presence of upapada, किंचित पुनस्मारणम् अत्र आवश्यकम् अस्ति. किं नाम उपपदम्, उपपदं कथं विद्यते, कथं तस्य प्रयोगः भवति, उपपदस्य उपस्थितौ धातोः प्रत्ययः कथं भवति, तत्र समासः कीदृशः भवति, एतेषां सर्वेषां विषयाणां किंचित अवलोकनं कृत्वा, पूर्वं विस्तारेण पठितमस्ति, अतः विस्तारेण इदानीं न पठ्यते, किंचित अवलोकनं कृत्वा तदनन्तरम् अग्रे गच्छामः. अतः किं नाम उपपदम् इति वदामश्चेत् तत्र तृतीयाध्यायस्य प्रथमपादे कृदन्तप्रकरणस्य प्रारम्भिकम् एकं सूत्रं तत्रोपपदं सप्तमीस्थं. द्वितीयः धात्वधिकारः 3191 इत्यतः प्रारभ्यते धातोः, तदनन्तरं तत्रोपपदं सप्तमीस्थम् इति उपपदसंज्ञा विधायकं सूत्रम्. तत्र एतस्मिन् धात्वधिकारे इत्युक्ते 3191 इत्यत्र यः धातोः अधिकारः प्रारब्धः, अस्मिन् धात्वधिकारे यत् सप्तमी निर्दिष्टं तद् उपपदसंज्ञकं भवति. वक्षति, कर्मण्यण, कुम्भकारः इत्यादयः. कः अर्थः? कृदन्तप्रकरणस्य सूत्रेषु यः शब्दः सप्तमी विभक्त्या निर्दिश्यते, तेन शब्देन कृद्वृत्तौ यस्य निर्देशः क्रियते तत्पदम् उपपदसंज्ञकम् अस्ति. So when we say kumbham karoti, the word kumbha is not in saptami, but the word kumbha matches to the word karmani, which is in the sutra and in the saptami. So karmanyana iti sutram, asmin sutre karmani iti saptami vibaktau padam vidyate. अस्य पदस्य अन्वयः कुम्भम् इत्यनेन सह भवति, अतः कुम्भम् इति वस्तुतः उपपदसंज्ञकं पदम्. So Kaumudi precisely explains this. Saptamyante pade karmanyana ityadau vachyattvena sthitam kumbhadi tadvachakam padam upapadasamnyam syat tasminscha satyeva vakshamanaha pratyayah. Tatra upapadasamnya कर्मणि इत्यस्य न भवति, अपितु कुम्भं चित्रम् इत्यस्य उपपदसंज्ञा भवति. अस्याः उपपदसंज्ञायाः विषये अनेके विषयाः गतवर्गेषु अस्माभिः अधीताः. झटिति अवलोकनं कृत्वा अग्रे गच्छामः. किं नाम उपपदम् इदानीमेव दृष्टं. सूत्रेषु सप्तम्यां निर्दिष्टः यः शब्दः इत्युक्ते सूत्रे सप्तमी विभक्तौ किञ्चन पदमस्ति, तेन पदेन निर्दिष्टः शब्दः तद्वाचकं पदम् उपपदम्. कृत् प्रत्यये कृते उपपदेन सह कृदन्तस्य उपपदसमासः भवति. So you get a कृत् प्रत्यय. कृत् प्रत्यय combines with the dhatu to get a krudanta. This krudanta combines with the upasarga. You get an upapada samasah. We also did a detailed dalakrutyam of this particular sutram. Tatropapadam saptamistham ityatra tatra iti shabdah kimartham prayujyate. सूत्रेण निर्दिष्टः प्रत्ययः upapadasya upasthitau eva vidhiyate. You do not get that pratyaya only when a dhatu sits. So kevalam karoti iti karaha iti na uchyate. Kumbham karoti iti kumbhakaraha iti uchyate. The pratyaya will come only when there is an upapada. Understand the sequence. I'm going to talk on this in more details on the next slide. Step number 1 is we must have upapada. Step number 2 is we get a pratyaya. So tatra grahanasya kim prayojanam sutrena nirdishtah pratyayah upapadasya upasthitau eva vidhiyate. Upapadam iti mahati samnya anvartha samnya kimartham datta asti सामर्थ्यम नास्ति चेत प्रत्ययः न भवति. सो उपपदम इति महत्याः संज्ञायाः प्रयोजनम अन्वर्थ संज्ञा यथा स्यात् यत्र सामर्थ्यम न विद्यते तत्र प्रत्ययः न भवति. आहर कुंभम करोति घटम इत्यत्र कुंभम करोति इत्येतयोः पदयोः मध्ये अन्वयः नास्ति. कुंभम इत्यस्य अन्वयः आहर इत्यनेन सह, नो चेत् करोति इत्यस्य अन्वयः घटम इत्यनेन पदेन सह. आहर कुंभम करोति घटम. नो चेत् महान्तं कुंभम करोति इत्यत्रापि कुंभ शब्दस्य अन्वयः महान्तं इत्यनेन सह अस्ति. कुंभम तथा करोति इत्येतयोर्मध्ये अन्वयः नास्ति. अतः महान्तं कुंभम करोति इत्यत्र महान्तं कुंभकार इति किमपि न भवति. So that's all illogical. You cannot combine kumbha and karoti because there is no samarthya, because there is no paraspara sambandha between these two words. So upapadam iti mahatyaha samnyayaha prayojanam atra anvartha samnya yatha syat. Stha grahanasya kim prayojanam? We have tatropapadam saptami stham, not just tatropapadam saptami but tatropapadam saptami stham. Yatra saptami na shruyate tatrapi samnya vidhanam bhavati. So this actually tells us that saptami is what is to be looked in the sutram and not in the vigraha vakyam. So in the vigraha vakyam kumbham karoti iti kumbhakarah kutrapi saptami na shruyate. Ataha atra stha grahanena etat spashtikriyate yat saptami shruyate na shruyate samastapade vidyate समस्तपदे न विद्यते यत्र कुत यत्किमपि स्यात् कुंभं करोति इति कुंभकारः, नो चेत् गले चोप्यते इति गले चोपकः, एतादृशाः शब्दाः अवश्यं सिद्ध्यन्ति. So whether you hear saptami in the final word, whether you don't hear it, whether you hear it in the vigraha, whether you don't hear it, you will be able to attach the pratyaya and get the final form. So yatra saptami na shruyate tatapi samnya vidhanam bhavati kumbham karoti iti kumbhakaraha iti udaharanam. And the first sutra in this particular sequence is karmanyana. This sutra says, very simple sutra, it's an utsarga top level sutram which says that whenever you have a karma samnyaka upapada, say kumbham karoti, chitram karoti, if you have a karma samnyaka upapada, karma karaka samnyaka upapada, you always get an ana pratyaya for all dhatus unless it is blocked by any of the subsequent ka, achta, in, khash and so on. So karmani ana ityanena sutrena sarvebhya dhatubhya default ana iti pratyaya upapadasya upasthitau bhavati. Having said that, what we should always remember is सर्वे अनादि प्रत्ययाः विशिष्टेभ्यः धातुभ्यः एव विधीयन्ते. Even if the sutra says it's blanket application for all dhatus, that's not really what is seen in the loka. In the loka, it always depends on what is the shishta prayoga or what dhatu is specifically indicated in the sutra. So anadi pratyayah ityukte atra tritiye karapatre vidyamanaः सर्वे प्रत्ययाः एते सर्वे अनादि प्रत्ययाः upapadasya upasthitau vishishtebhyah dhatubhyah eva vidhiyante. So we have studied all these earlier. I just thought we will set up the stage so that we can start discussing stuff that is core to today's class. Just give me 1 minute. So there are two questions over here. Let me take them and then we can go. So can you explain the last line tasmincha satyeva? So this last line tasmincha satyeva vakshamanaha pratyayah. Vakshamanaha pratyayah ityukte agre uchyate, the one that will be told now onwards. That's the pratyaya. So the one that will be told later on, that particular pratyaya, when will it be applied? It will be applied only when the upapada is there. So tasminscha satyeva. Only if you see the dhatu kru, you will not get the ana pratyaya. You must have an additional word called kumbha, and only when the system sees a pair kumbha plus kru, it will give an ana pratyaya. So tasmin ityukte tasmin upapade satyeva vakshamanaha agreyaha uchyate saha pratyaya vidhiyate. And then there is another question. Samarthyam depends on the order of the padas. That's actually a shady area or tricky area. Samarthyam does not necessarily depend on the order of the padas. Samarthyam actually depends on the intention of the speaker. So, for example, many times in Sanskrit, even if the order of the words is changed, not always, but many times, the meaning does not change. So, it typically depends on the intention of the speaker to indicate the samarthya between such and such words or not having a samarthya between such and such words. The general trend is to have the words having samarthya bound together in any order, but bound together, and then another group of words which have samarthya between them, and so on. But strictly speaking, samarthyam does not really depend on the order of the padas. Agre gacchamaha. So basically, let's understand how this whole system gets structured or how this pratyaya samasa gets formed. Because we have been saying multiple terms again and again. We are saying there is a krudanta, we are saying there is a samasa, we are saying there is an upapada. How does all of this interact together? Tat kinchit vistarena drushva tadanantaram agre gacchamaha. So we start with the dhatu. We always start with the dhatu. We have a flow chart, and at the beginning of the flow chart, there is a dhatu. So we start with the dhatu. Dhatuna astra prarambha kriyate. इदानीं सामान्यरूपेण किं भवति? प्रथमं करपत्रं नो चेत् द्वितीयं करपत्रं स्वीकुर्मः चेत् तत्र धातुः अस्ति चेत् झटिति प्रत्ययः आगच्छति. As soon as you have a dhatu gama, you can get a pratyay called tavya, tavyat, aniyar, or whatever, anavul, truch, whatever. As soon as the dhatu is there, the pratyay can come and sit. But not for the third sheet or onwards. Atra kim bhavati? You have a dhatu, you must have an upapada along with that dhatu. If you do not have upapada along with the dhatu, sheet number 3 is not accessible to you. It is locked. It only becomes unlocked when you have a upapadam along with you. So you have upapadam, you have dhatu, sheet number 3 is now unlocked, and you get a pratyaya. That's exactly what we're talking on the previous slide. Tasminscha satyeva vakshamanaha pratyaya. The pratyaya will be attached only when there is an upapada, not otherwise. Tasminscha satyeva vakshamanaha pratyaya. So before that, so what we have to understand over here is the pratyaya, the step of applying the pratyaya in the first and the second sheet is different, and the place or timing of applying the pratyaya in the third sheet is different. We have to wait for an upapada. We need an upapada. Only when the upapada is seen, we take the upapada, take the dhatu, match the sutra. So sometimes the sutra depends on the upapada, sometimes it depends on dhatu, sometimes it depends on both of them, but we have to do matches with both, and then we have to give the pratyaya. Now, what is more interesting at this particular point is this. Yadyapi pratyayaha upapadasya upasthitau vidhiyate, tathapi krudantasya nirmana samaye kevalam dhatu tatha pratyayaha etayoho yojanam bhavati. Let me repeat this. The pratyaya is applied in presence of upapada, but the pratyaya gets applied only to the dhatu and not to the combination of upapada and dhatu. Yadyapi upapadasya upasthitau pratyay vidhanam krutam asti, tathapi pratyayaha upapadat na vidhiyate. Pratyayaha kevalam dhatoho eva vidhiyate. Upapadam plus dhatu ityetasmat yugalat api na vidhiyate. So the pratyaya is not attached to upapada. It is not attached to the pair of dhatu comma upapada. It is attached only to the dhatu. And by combining this dhatu and pratyaya, we will get a krudanta. सो कृदन्तस्य निर्माणं कथं भवति? धातुना सह प्रत्ययस्य योजनं भवति चेत् कृदन्तस्य निर्माणं भवति. There is no role played by upapada anywhere in this process except for telling which pratyaya comes over there. So upapadam prathamam agacchati, upapadasya upasthitau pratyay vidhanam bhavati. As soon as pratyaya comes, upapada is sidelined. Upapada is no more in the picture. Dhatu and pratyaya combine together to form a krudanta. You do not have any role play, or the upapadam does not play any role in this whole process. It remains as it is. So dhatu pratyayyoho yojaneన कृदन्तस्य निर्माणं भवति. कृदन्तम् इति संज्ञा केवलं धातु प्रत्यय समूहस्यैव अस्ति. कृदन्त means धातु plus प्रत्यय together. कृदन्तम् इति संज्ञा धातु प्रत्यय समूहस्यैव अस्ति. उपपदस्य तत्र समावेशः न भवति. So as somebody is pointing, upapadam gives a permission for the pratyaya without really attaching to the pratyaya. That's the exact definition, or that's the exact behavior. It will simply give a permission to the pratyaya, or it will simply facilitate the combination of dhatu and pratyaya, something like a catalyst in a reaction, without really participating in the reaction. So we have dhatu plus pratyaya giving krudantam, and we have upapadam carried as it is. Now at this particular point in time, upapadam can be combined with krudanta to form samastapadam. So we have upapadam combined with krudanta. So this is the place where upapadam comes in the picture. Upapadam gets combined with krudanta to form a samastapadam. So subutpattehe prak, even before a sup pratyaya comes and sits, subutpattehe prak eva उपपदस्य कृदन्तेन सह समासं कृत्वा समस्तपदस्य निर्माणं भवति. So understand, where is the samastapada? Samastapada is in the next step. How is the samastapada formed? Combination of upapada and krudanta. How is krudanta formed? Combination of dhatu and pratyaya. How is pratyaya generated? Because of the upapada. It's all interlinked together. So subutpattehe prak eva upapadasya krudantena sah samasam krutva samastapadasya nirmanam bhavati. समस्तपदम इति संज्ञा कस्य भवति? उपपद प्लस कृदंत. Further break it down. Upapada plus dhatu plus pratyaya. All this is called samastapada. So samastapadam iti samnya kasya bhavati? Upapada dhatu pratyaya samuhasya samastapadam iti samnya bhavati. Kevalam dhatu pratyayasya na. So dhatu plus pratyaya is krudanta. Upapadam plus krudantam is subantam. Asmat agre sup pratyayam krutva subantasya nirmanam bhavati. Starting with the dhatu. How is say kru? How is the subanta kumbhakaraha created? We take dhatu kru, we take upapadam kumbham, we get an ana pratyaya, and then we get a kridanta kara, which cannot be used standalone in the language. It's just a matter of prakriya. Kara. Then get the upapada kumbham plus kara. We get a samastapada kumbhakara. Apply supratyaya on it. Kumbhakaraha. So before applying sup pratyaya, this is the samastapada. So basically samastam pratipadikam padam iti kimartham prayuktam iti kashana prashna asti. Should we call it samastapadam? Technically correct. We should not be probably call it samastapadam. We should probably call it a pratipadikam which is generated using samasa. But I hope the concept is clear. The word padam over here is not used in the sense of vyakarana padam, but basically a सामासिक पदम, a word that is generated. शब्द इत्यस्मिन् अर्थे पदम इति शब्दः प्रयुक्तः अस्ति. यथा अनुदात्तं पदमेकवर्जम् इत्यत्र, तथैव अत्रापि शब्द इत्यस्मिन् अर्थे सामासिक शब्दः इति अस्य संज्ञा भवितुम् अर्हति. तदनन्तरं सुप्रत्ययाः भवन्ति, सुबन्तस्य निर्माणं भवति. What is important in this particular whole flow chart is to understand that this is a very unique type of samasa. So this samasa upapada plus krudanta, this samasa that is happening is a very unique type of samasa. Why this is a unique type of samasa? Remember that samasas always happen between two subantas. द्वयोः सुबन्तयोः मध्ये सुप्रत्ययान्त शब्दयोः मध्ये समासः भवितुम् अर्हति. सीतायाः पतिः. One part is Sitayaha, it's a Subanta Shashti, and another part is Patihi, it's Subanta Prathama. Their combination is Sita Patihi. Most of a 99.99% of the cases, a samasa is between the Subantas. This is one exception. Here, the first pada is definitely a Subantam because Upapadam is a pada itself and then there will be a Supratyaya already attached to it. So the first padam will be Subantam, but the second padam is not Subantam. It is a Pratipadikam. It is a Kridantam. So atra Subantena saha Pratipadikasya samasah bhavati. Subantena saha कृदन्तस्य समासः भवति सुबन्तेन सह सुबन्तस्य समासः न भवति इति अत्र विशेषः. This is very very important. Two samasas, we have gati samasa and we have upapada samasa, the two most important samasas where we get a samasa or a samasta pada generated all the way before the sup pratyaya is applied, even with a krudanta on the right hand side. So let's understand the sutra giving the Upapada Samasa and we will talk about this aspect in more details. So Prayaha Sarvaihi Smaryate Upapadamating iti sutram Upapadam Subantam Samarthena Nityam Samasyate Atingantaschayam Samasaha Ating Grahanam Jnapayati Supa iti etat na iha anuvartate. So we have discussed this aspect in details when we studied Upapadam in sufficient depth. अतिंग इति शब्दः अत्र नॉन तिंग इति अर्थः इत्यस्मिन् अर्थे प्रयुज्यते. किमर्थम् अतिंग इति उच्यते? सो कौमुदीकारः सेज अतिंग ग्रहणं ज्ञापयति सुपा इति न अनुवर्तते. सो we do not get a samasa with the subanta, we get it along with the krudanta. That's what is being indicated by the word ating over here, and therefore that lets us derive a paribhasha called गतिकारकोपपदानां कृद्भिः सह समासवचनं प्राक् सुबुत्पत्तेः. अस्याः परिभाषाः विषये अपि वयं विस्तारेण पूर्वषु वर्गेषु अपठाम. समासस्य निर्माणं सामान्यतः द्वयोः सुबन्तयोः योजनेन भवति, परन्तु उपपदसमासः गतिसमासः च विशेषः. एतयोः समासयोः निर्माणं सुबन्तेन सह कृदन्तस्य योजनेन भवति. So understand over here, the yellow highlight on the screen over here is the samasa. The left part of the samasa is a subanta. The right part of the samasa is the krudanta. Here also, the left part of the samasa is a pada, is a subanta. The right part of the samasa is the krudanta. So subantayana saha krudantasya yojanena samasah bhavati. In the whole prakriya, for examples like this, when you say kumbham and you want to split it up further, the dvitiya vibhakti gets converted to shashti vibhakti. We have also seen this. Kartrukarmanoho kruti iti sutram krudyoge kartari karmani cha shashti vibhakti bhavati. So you split the whole thing, you split this particular kumbham not as kumbha plus but as kumbha plus ngasa plus kru plus ana, giving rise to kumbhakara. So we have seen all these in previous classes. I think we have spent multiple classes in understanding these particular aspects. The concept of upapada, the concept of gatikarako upapadanam krudbhi sah samasavachanam prak subutpattehe, and kartrukarmanoho kruti. Let's jump ahead. There is one very important source of confusion. Many people have actually emailed me about this at various points in the past. What the question goes like this: what is the difference between an upasarga and an upapada? Upasargaha तथा च upapadam इत्येतयोः मध्ये कः भेदः? Are all upasargas upapadas? Are all upapadas upasargas? What is the relationship between them? Is a question that continuously comes in this particular context. Unless we understand this point in details, we will be thoroughly confused in the entire third chapter, third Karapatram. So let's spend some time in understanding the difference between the upasarga and the upapada. Let's start with what exactly is the upasarga. So kim nama upasargaha? Upasargaha iti pradinam samnya. Pradinam ityukte pra, para, apa, sama, and so on up to pari, upa. We have a set of words defined in the pradigana. So pradayaha iti sutrena pradiganaha uchyate, pra, para, apa, sama, and so on. Ete sarve shabdaha kriyayaha yoge, when they are applied in context of a kriya, in context of a verb, we call these words as upasarga. This is very important to understand. Random words like pra, para, apa, sama are not called upasargas if you apply them in presence of uh, say normal words. You do not call them upasargas. Uh, we only call these words as upasargas when they get applied along with a kriyapada. Upasargaha kriyayoge iti sutramasti. Upasargaha kriyayoge ityanena sutrena ete sarve shabdaha upasargasamnyakaha bhavanti. Kriyayaha yoge eva ete sarve upasargasamnyakaha kriyam vina na. The immediately next sutra, upasargaha kriya yoge, agrimam sutram asti gatischa. अतः एतेषां सर्वेषां प्रपरा अप इत्येतेषां सर्वेषां उपसर्गसंज्ञकानां शब्दानां गतिः इति अपि संज्ञा भवति. So you have two samnyas for these words. You have upasarga and you have gatihi. Not to be confused with the gatyarthaka dhatus which are in abundance in the dhatu patha. Completely two different concepts. So gatihi is a grammatical concept, is a grammatical term, is a vyakarana vishishta samnya. We have bunch of words being called gatihi. Upasargas is one of them. So you have other also non-upasargas words are also called gati, but all upasargas will be called gatis. So sarve upasarga samnyakaha shabdaha gatisha ityanena gati samnyakaha api bhavanti etesham sarvesham krudantaihi samasaha subutpattehe purvam bhavati. So that's the gati samasa. Remember on the previous slide there were two clauses, gati and upapada. We'll forget about karaka for now. So gati and upapada. So these gati words also get samasa before the subutpatti. So gati words are also undergo a samasa directly with the krudanta. That's exactly what it is written over here. Upapada samasaha tatha gati samasaha etayoho samasayo nirmanam subantena sa krudantasya yojanena bhavati. So gati also combine with krudanta and upapada also combine with krudanta. Now at this point we know that gati, a small subset of that is upasargas. So upasargas will combine with krudanta. Ayam gati samasaha. And then we have studied this particular, apakarsha that is used to justify this samasa. Ku gati pradayaha ityataha ityatra. So ku gati pradaya is 2 to 18. We pull the ating word from the next sutra. This is called apakarsha, reverse pulling. Ku gati pradayaha ityatra upapadating ityataha ating iti apakrushya ayam samasaha siddhyati. Asya samasasya nirmanartham upapadam na avashakam. This is not or this does not require upapada. Is a simple samasa with a gati and a krudanta. So gati samnyaka, which is upasarga, and a krudanta, they combine together to form a simple samasa called gati samasa. There is no concept of upasarga appearing over here. Let's see the example and we'll understand. Gachati iti ganta. Truch pratyaya asti. Gama plus trucha granta. That truch pratyaya does not require any upapada. It just comes as soon as gama dhatu is there. Gama plus truch is equal to ganta. Avagachati iti avaganta. So just like the way you put ava before the dhatu, you will put ava before the krudanta. But this particular word avaganta is actually a samasa. How is this a samasa? It is a samasa between ava and ganta. What is ava? Ava is a gati samnyaka word. Why is it gati samnyaka word? Because it is an upasarga, therefore it becomes a gati samnyaka word. And it is used in the context of the verb. So ava is a gati samnyaka word, anta is a krudanta word. The gati samnyaka word gets combined with the krudanta word and we get avaganta as the final form. So atra prakriyayam prarambhe gamadhatoh truch pratyayam krutva gantru iti shabdah siddhyati ततः अव इत्यस्य गंत्रु इत्यनेन सह गति समासः भवति येन अवगंत्रु इति सप्तम समस्त padam siddhyati. There is no business of upapada samasa anywhere. We are not even entering sheet number 3. The truch pratyaya used over here is in the sheet number 2. Nubul truchau. We have a gati samasa. We have an upasarga. There is no concept of upapada. Ava ityasya upasargasya upapada iti samnya nasti. Now comes the interesting part. If you look at sheet number 3, there are some places where you see an upasarga in the saptami vibhakti. So pray, you can see it is in the saptami vibhakti. Sami, you can see it in the saptami vibhakti. Angi, you can see the a upasarga in the saptami vibhakti. So you have some upasargas which act as upapada also when it comes to sheet number 3. So upasargas are themselves a separate territory. Some upasargas happen to act as upapada when we enter sheet number 3. So krudadhikarasya sutreshu yatra सप्तम्यन्तपदेन उपसर्गस्य निर्देशः भवति, like प्रेदाज्ञः, like समीख्यः and so on. तत्र उपसर्गस्य अपि उपपदसंज्ञा भवति. So actually it's a normal Venn diagram. You can have a separate territory of upasargas, you can have a separate territory of upapadas, and you have an overlap with the middle region representing cases like predadnyaha or samikhyaha and so on, where you have both the terms upasarga and upapada. So tatra tu upasargasyapi upapada samnya bhavati, ataha tatra upasargena sah krudantasya upapada mating iti samasah bhavati. Understand this. In the previous case, the upapada, the upasarga is combining using the gati samasa. In the current case, upasarga is combining using the upapada samasa. Pratisthati iti prasthaha. So atra atashopasarge iti sutrena ka pratyah bhavati. Asmin sutre upasarge iti saptamyantapadam vidyate. अतः प्र इत्यस्य उपपद संज्ञा भवति. Look at this. Atashopasarge, upasarge, upapade is what we learned in that sutra. So technically now pra is an upapada and therefore we get upapada samasaha. So upasargas and upapadas are completely separate territories. You get an overlap between the two, but not always, not necessarily every application of an upasarga is an upapada. And obviously there are multiple other upapadas like kumbha, chitra and so on, which are not upasargas. So it's a normal intersection type of diagram. All three possibilities are there. Upasargas will be called upapadas when explicitly the saptamyanta pada talks about the upasarga. The upasargas will continue to be called just as upasargas or gatis when we do not have the pratyay vidhanam in presence of that particular upapada. Please understand this. If there are any questions, please ask, because this is extremely important to get clarified at this stage. Otherwise, this will cause complete chaos throughout the entire sheet number 3. I'll wait for a minute. There are multiple questions. Let me just go through it and take the relevant ones, because we have to also finish some important material today. So I'll just take one question over here right now. What exactly are pra, para and so on called? Pra, para and so on are just called pradayaha. So normal standalone pra, para, apasam, anu, ava, nismir, all these are called pradis, pradayaha. Pradayaha become upasargaha in the context of the kriya, particular kriya. Ganta, is it a future tense? No, Ganta is basically just gachati saha gantatruch pratyah prayuktah asti. Just a minute. There is a very interesting question over here. If upasargas are subset of gatis, then let me read this question. Very interesting question. Understand, listen to the question carefully. If upasargaha are the subset of gatihi, then why are they separately mentioned in the sutra ku gati pradayaha? So kaha prashnaha? So ku gati pradaya sutra has the word gati and it also has these upasargas present over here. Why is a separate mention of upasargas if gati is basically a bigger group? The answer is that if you think carefully, the sutra ku gati pradaya does not talk about upasargas at all. It talks about pradis. Exactly refers back to my previous answer. Pradayaha is the set pra para apasam anu ava nisnir and so on. These pradis become upasarga only under special condition of kriya yoge. So what Kogati Pradaya is saying is that the words of the Pradigana Prapara Apasama will be included in this sutra irrespective of whether they are Gati or not. If they are Gati, they will anyway be included under the title Gati. If they are not Gati, because they are not Upasargas, they will still be included under the title of the Pradis. So that's the answer. Again, similar question. This is all related to the Samasa Prakranam. So I'm just going to stop this at one point in time, but I'll take this one last question. So how do we distinguish between Gati Samasa and Pradi Samasa? Again, the same thing. Pradi Samasa is not related to the Kriya Padas because as soon as it becomes a Kriya Pada, it becomes a Gati Samyaka and then there will be a Gati Samasa. If you go to 2.2.18, Kugati Pradayaha, look at how the examples of pradi are given over here. So pradayaha, dushpurushaha. So dus is prapara apasam anu avanisdir dus dur viang. So there is a dus pratyaya, dus pradi word over here in the pradi gana. It is attached to purusha or supurusha, ati purusha. So dus, su, ati, they are not upasargas in these three words. They are only pradis. Understand this point again. Pradis become upasargas only in presence of dhatus. Upasargaha kriya yoge. Kriya nasti chet pradinam upasarga samnya api na bhavati. So they are simply pradis and therefore in kugati pradayaha they will still be included because of pradayaha word over here. Okay, so there are a few more questions, but they are all about the Samasa Prakaranam, which I mean we don't want to venture. Krudanta Prakaranam is only not ending; it's 1 year since we started the course. Let's stick to the subject. So Upapada and Upasarga, etayor madhye bhedaha. There is one question which I'll take and then we'll go. Why there are two different samnyas, Gati and Upasarga? The reason is because Gati is a bigger set. So you have Upasargaha, Kriya Yoge, Gatischa, and then there are a bunch of other sutras, Uryadi, Chidachastra, Anukaranam Chatiparam, and so on, Anukaranam Chanitiparam, and so on. These sutras will give a bunch of more words called Gati. So Gati is a superset, Upasarga is a subset. And therefore, if there is a special karya required for the upasargas, then we have, like for example, atashopasarge. There is a special karya or special mention of upasargas is needed. So there is a smaller set which has been given a different term. And then there are multiple other words in the whole bigger picture of the Gati Samyaka cycle, which will get a different term because there is a Gati specific functionality required somewhere else. And therefore, two samnyas. So Gati and Upasargas, both the samnyas are given only for these pradis. There are a bunch of other words which will be still called Gatis but not Upasargas. There's a huge set of words, I think starting from 1461 up to some 1478 or something. There's a list of all the Gati Samnyaka words present. None of them are Upasargas, only these pra, para, apasam and so on, 22, 23, whatever are called Upasargas. Okay, let's move ahead. I don't think I'll be able to finish what I planned today, but let's go. So there is something else in this particular context that I want to discuss, and then we will actually jump onto the subject matter if time remains. So in all this entire third sheet, karmanyana, bhavamascha, and so on, the structure that we will see again and again is like this. There is an upapada. So step number one, dhatu. Step number two, upapadam plus dhatu. Step number three, upapadam plus dhatuhu plus pratyaya. So we have this particular configuration in these three steps, but eventually there is this particular configuration, upapadam, dhatu, and pratyaya. Now there is something very interesting, confusing, a little complex thing that's going on over here. Please pay attention. What is this pratyaya doing? Asya pratyayasya kim karyam asti? कर्तरी कृत इत्यनेन सामान्य रूपेण सर्वे कृत प्रत्ययाः कर्तरी कारके प्रयुज्यन्ते नो चेत् अन्यत् सूत्रमस्ति चेत् अन्य कारके तेषां प्रयोगः भवति. Eventually what it means is that the pratyaya present over here indicates some karaka. It may be karta, like kumbham karoti iti kumbhakarah. So karoti iti kriyayah karta asti saha kumbhakarah. So pratyaya will have its own karaka associated with it. Most often it is karta, kartari kruta ityanena. For the krutya pratyaya, it is karma, but it can be multiple other karakas. Sometimes it is karana, sometimes sampradana, sometimes apadana. So, for example, diyate asmai iti daniyaha vipraha. There is apada, there is sampradana karaka, ramyate asyam iti ramaniya vatika. This is adhikarana karaka. So, you have multiple possible karakas. The majority is karta and karma. 99% it will be karta and karma, but you can have a specific karaka indicated by the pratyaya. So, kim nama pratyayena nirdishtam karakam? प्रत्ययार्थः इति अपि उच्यते. कृत् प्रत्ययान्त शब्देन यस्य निर्देशः भवति तत् कारकं प्रत्ययार्थः नाम्ना ज्ञायते. Look at the final word and ask yourself, is it representing a karta, is it representing a karma, is it representing a karana, and that's the karaka of that pratyaya. So kumbhakara, who is kumbhakara? It is the karta of the kr action. Say Ramaniya Vatika. Who is Ramaniya? It is the adhikarana of the Rama action. So which karaka is associated with the dhatu? That's what the karaka indicated by the pratyaya. So pratyayena nirdishtam karakam, we call it pratyayartha. This is a very important term. Pratyayasya arthaha karta asti, uta karma asti, uta karana asti, karanam asti, kaha asti. प्रत्ययस्य अर्थः इति प्रत्ययार्थः कृत् प्रत्ययान्त शब्देन यस्य निर्देशः भवति तत्कारकं प्रत्ययस्य कारकं प्रत्ययेन निर्दिष्टं कारकं प्रत्ययार्थः नाम्ना ज्ञायते. प्रायः कर्ता भवति because there is a sutra kartari kruta by which all the pratyas will get a kartru by default. Then you have tayoreva krutyakta khalarthaha, we have bhave, we have akartari cha karake samnyayam. So kutrachit karanam sampradanam adhikaranam apadanam अन्ये अन्यानि कारकाणि अपि भवितुम् अर्हन्ति. Now, as if this was not complex, understand that upapada also has its own karaka. So upapadasyapi tatra vishishtam karakam bhavati. When we say karmanyana, the karmani word itself says that the upapada must be in the karma karaka. So upapada has its own karaka. क्रियायाः उपपदेन सह येन कारकेण अन्वयः भवति तत् उपपदस्य कारकम्. Understand this. Kumbham karoti. This is one entity where this is a one group of words where there is a certain relationship between kumbham and karoti. And that is the karma karaka relationship, which is the karaka of the upapada. So kumbhakaraha is the karta. So the relationship between kumbhakaraha and karoti is the karta relationship. Relationship between kumbham and karoti is the karma relationship. So upapada has its own vishishta karaka. It can be karma karaka, it can be apadana karaka, sampradana karaka, adhikarana karaka, whatever. Sometimes the upapada is karaka less. It does not have a karaka. We'll see all the examples on the next slide. So upapadasya kutrachit nityam vishishtam karakam bhavati. Pratyayena vishishtam karakam nirdishyate. We should never confuse between the two different karakas. We will take multiple examples on the next slide and understand what these two different karakas are and how they interact with each other, and then the whole situation, whole system will become more clear. So let's read this. Upapadasya karakam ityukte kim? क्रियायाः उपपदेन सह येन कारकेण अन्वयः भवति तत् उपपदस्य कारकम्. यदि उपपदेन सह क्रियायाः अन्वयः नास्ति तर्हि उपपदस्य कारकम् अपि न विद्यते. On the other hand, कृत प्रत्ययान्त शब्देन यस्य निर्देशः भवति तत् कारकं प्रत्ययार्थः नाम्ना ज्ञायते. Let's take a bunch of examples, like 8 to 10 examples, and understand this particular point. This is the most crucial point. If you miss this, you will not understand any of the upcoming classes. So please pay very close attention. Let's take the very first simple example. Karmanyana, Tritiyadhyasya Dvitiyapadasya Prathamam Sutram. Kumbham karoti iti kumbhakaraha. The upapada over here is kumbham. What is the karaka of the upapada? It is the karma karaka because it is the object of the kriya karoti. On the other hand, the pratyaya ana, which is attached to the dhatu kru. What is that pratyaya giving? That pratyaya is giving you the karta of the kriya. So the kriya is now associated with the upapada with the relationship of karma, and the kriya is associated with the krut pratyaya or the krudanta with the relationship of karta. So pratyayartha asti karta, upapadasya karakam asti karma. Let's take the second example. Supisthaha iti sutram, gruhe tisthati iti gruhasthaha. Gruhe tisthati. So now the upapada is in the adhikarana karaka. The karaka of the upapada suddenly changed. From karma it became the adhikarana karaka. The pratyaya is still karta. So pratyayarthaha, grahasthaha is the karta of the action. The one who stands, stays, remains is called gruhastha, the karta of tishtati. So karta is the pratyayartha, upapadasya karakam is adhikarana karakam. Let's go to more complex examples. Padabhyam riyate, taken out of the legs. Say for example, footwear. You remove it from the legs. So padabhyam riyate iti padaharakaha. The pratyaya is navula pratyaya. We have seen this example when we studied navula pratyaya. So padabhyam riyate iti padaharakaha ityatra upapadasya karakam tu saralam asti. It's directly there in front of you. The complex one is the pratyaya karakam. So upapadasya karakam, apadana karakam, taken out of your legs, feet. So padabhyam riyate iti padaharakaha. Padaharaka. What is the relationship of padaharaka with riyate? It is the object. Padaharaka does not represent the person who is taking out a footwear. It represents the footwear itself which is being taken out. So padabhyam riyate. Understand the meaning of the sentence. Taken out of legs. Padabhyam riyate iti padaharakaha. So the pratyayartha over here is karma. The pratyayartha is karma. The upapada is apadana. Pratyayartha is not apadana. Pratyayartha is karma. We are talking about the object that is being taken out, and padabhyam is the apadana, which is the upapada. Let's take a little more complex example. Purvaha sarati iti purva saraha. I'll not go in the details of the sutra, but let's understand this quickly, remaining ones. Purvaha sarati iti purva saraha. Purvaha is the upapadam. It is in the prathama vibhakti. It is karta. Purva saraha is also karta. Understand, upapada and pratyayartha are both related to the action sarati as karta itself. We will learn what it means when we talk about purve kartari a few classes later. Here, simply by matching vibhaktis, it should be clear that pratyayartha over here is karta, purvasaraha, because purvasaraha sarati, purvaha sarati, and upapadasya karaka is also karta. Agrimam udharanam, ayaha hanyate anena iti ayoghanaha. So hanyate anena, instrument used for hitting, for killing. So basically, it's an instrument. Ayoghana is an instrument which is used for giving a proper shape to the metal, to iron. Ayaha ityukte iron. Ayaha hanyate anena iti ayoghanaha. So hanyate anena, you have karana karakam for the pratyayartha and you have karma karakam for the upapada. Ayaha hanyate. So devadattaha asti, devadattaha hanti. Devadatta is the karta. Devadattaha kim hanti, no chet kam hanti. Devadattaha ayaha hanti. Ayas iti sakaranta shabdaha. So ayaha ayasi ayansi. Ayaha ayasi. So ayaha hanyate iti ayoghanaha. The pratyayartha is the karana. Upapadam is the karma. Let's see some more examples. Gam hanti datum asmai. We studied this. We actually studied only the dasha part of this sutra, not the goghnau. But gam hanti datum asmai iti goghnaha. Some atithi comes and then you extract the milk or whatever, products out of the cow. Gam hanti does not literally mean kills the cow. It basically means extracts the milk from the cow to offer to the to atithi, to offer to the abhyagata. So gam hanti datum asmai iti goghnaha. Datum asmai, the receiver is called goghna. The atithi, the person who is taking that milk is called goghna. So we have sampradana as the pratyayartha. The pratyaya will be represented by, the pratyaya will represent the receiver of the action. So it is a sampradana. Gam hanti datum asmai iti goghna iti sampradanam. And then gam hanti. So basically devadattaha gam hanti. So ga is the karma. Upapadasya karakam karma asti. Agre amavasya danyatarasyam sutram adhitam amavasatah asyam iti amavasya. So asyam ityanena pratyayartha nirdishyate adhikarana karakam asti in that particular time period. Amavasatah asyam. So that particular time period is called amavasya, which is the adhikarana karaka. Chandra and Surya basically resided together. Surya Chandrau amavasatah iti atra arthaha. And ama is the avyaya. It does not have any relationship with vasataha. Therefore, you just say there is no karaka for the upapada. So upapada sometimes does not even have a karaka. And finally, again, one more common example, brahmanaha hananam iti brahmahatya. So brahmahatya indicates the bhava. We studied this in details at that time. So pratyayartha is bhava and brahmanaha hananam. Brahma is actually karma. It has gone into Shashti Vibhakti because of usage of the word hananam. So brahmanaha hananam ityatra brahma iti karma karakam upapadam. So understand the difference between upapada and the pratyaya karaka. This is going to become more and more complex as we go ahead, because there will be sutras which will tell exactly what we are saying on this particular slide. Look at this. Karaneyo vidrushu. The sutra itself says Karana karake pratyay vidhanam bhavati. Sutradash goghnav sampradane se sampradana karake shabdaha nipatyate. So the sutra will give you a weird combination of the karaka on the upapada versus the karaka on the pratyaya, and it is very important to parse those sutras clearly, and therefore this particular slide, this particular distinction is very important. Please revisit this particular slide and work out these differences between the pratyayartha and upapadasya karakam on your own, so that it becomes much clearer in the brain when we actually start studying the sutras. So with this background, now let's start with the ana pratyaya. The sutra is simple. We are only going to study this one sutra and we will stop today. The only sutra that we are going to study today is Karmanyana. Simple sutram actually, will take probably 15 minutes. Karmanyana iti prathamam sutram idanim pathamaha. Ityanena sutrena karmani upapade. So now we will understand the difference. Karmani upapade sarvebhyah dhatubhyah कर्त्रर्थे अणप्रत्ययः भवति. So प्रत्ययार्थः अस्ति कर्ता, upapadasya karakam asti karma. Kumbham karoti iti kumbhakarah. Agre idanim tritiyaadhyasya dvitiya pade anapratyasya badhaka rupena. We can see in the sequence we have ka pratyaya, taka pratyaya, acha pratyaya, ta pratyaya. and so on. Bhinnaha pratyaya, khash is there, bhinnaha pratyayaha bhavitum arhanti. Let me remind this for one last time, or actually second last time. There will be one reminder coming again on the last slide. यद्यपि सूत्रे सर्वेभ्यः धातुभ्यः इति उच्यते अणप्रत्ययस्य प्रयोगः शिष्टप्रयोगम् अनुसृत्य एव करणीयः. So in the Prakriya generator, I will give for all dhatus, just so that you can verify the Prakriya. But understand, and the sutra gives for all dhatus. But understand that we must resort to the Shishta Prayoga. We cannot randomly attach pratyaya to various dhatus. केवल धातोः अण प्रत्ययः न विधीयते. I have stressed this enough now. करोति इति कारः इति न भवति. केवल धातुभ्यः वुलादयः प्रत्ययः भवन्ति. Sheet number 1 and sheet number 2. Remember this. Sheet number 3 is unlocked only when there is an upapada. Otherwise sheet number 3 is not unlocked. So केवल धातुभ्यः केवलं वुलादय प्रत्ययाः एव भवन्ति. Reverse is also true. If you have an upapada, you give the preference to sheet number 3. So you don't use vula and trucha and acha pratyaya, but you use the ana pratyaya or whichever ka pratyaya and so on. So upapadasya upasthitau prayaha anye pratyayah na bhavanti. Prayaha, because there will always be some exceptions. Upapadasya upasthitau vula trucha acha ete pratyayah na bhavanti. So you don't say kumbham karoti iti kumbhakarakaha. Kumbhakarakaha is a valid word. But we don't say kumbham karoti iti kumbhakarakaha. That's not how we create this word. We say karoti iti karakaha. You first take the dhatu kru, apply the vul pratyaya to create a final krudanta karakaha, and then do a shashti tatpurusha samasa kumbhasya karakaha iti kumbhakarakaha. So while kumbhakarakaha is a valid word, it is not generated by the krudanta vritti, krut vritti, by attaching the vula pratyaya in presence of the upapada kumbha. That's not how it happens. You just say karoti iti karakaha, tadanantaram kumbhasya karakaha iti kumbhakarakaha iti sopana dvayena samasta padam atra siddhyati. On the other hand, when you say kumbham karoti iti kumbhakaraha, it's a single step where anapratyaya is coming because of the word kumbha, and then it does a upapada samasa giving kumbhakara. Obviously, as I mentioned, there are exceptions. कुत्रचित् उपपदस्य उपस्थितौ अपि एते प्रत्यया भवितुम् अर्हन्ति. तत्र शिष्टप्रयोगः एव ज्ञातव्यः. एतेषाम् अध्ययनम् अस्माभिः तत्तत् समये कृतम् अस्ति. सो पादाभ्यां ह्रियते इति पादकारकः इति उदाहरणं णुल् प्रत्ययस्य समये अधीतं. जनम् अर्दयति इति जनार्दनः अच् प्रत्ययस्य समये पचादिगणस्य समये अधीतं. This is lyu pratyaya. Lyu pratyaya samay adhitam. Shatrun tapayati shatrutāparah. Punah lyu pratyaya न हरति इति अहारि ऋणिनि प्रत्यय. एतानि उदाहरणानि पूर्वेषु वर्गेषु अस्माभिः अधीतानि. अतः यत्र यत्र नन्द्यादिगणः पचादिगणः एतेषु गणेषु एव उपपदस्य निर्देशः क्रियते मधुसूदनः यथा, तत्र तु अवश्यम् उपपदस्य साहाय्येन उपपदस्य उपस्थितौ एव प्रत्ययः विधीयते. परन्तु सामान्य रूपेण बुल तृच नो चेत् क ण एते सामान्य रूपेण प्रत्ययः यदा विधीयन्ते तदा तु उपपदं तत्र न आवश्यकम्. उपपदस्य उपस्थितौ तृतीयं करपत्रम् एव प्रारम्भे स्मरणे स्थापनीयम्. With this background, let's talk about the sutram karmanyana, and then we will stop. 3-4 more slides are there, but it's all about simple karmanyana. So sutram karmanyana. Let's read the Kaumudi first because Kashika has bunch of unrelated stuff. Karmani upapade dhatoho ana pratyayah syat. Very simple. Upapada samasaha kumbham karoti iti kumbhakaraha. Nothing to explain. Adityam pashyati ityadau anabhidhanat na bhavati. All the way 5th or 6th class, 4th class probably. I've explained all this, that you need abhidhana, you need a proper shishta prayoga for creating, for attaching the anapratyaya. Adityam pashyati ityatrapi karmani upapadam asti. Adityam pashyati ityatrapi tatra dhatuhu asti. Parantu tatra anapratyaya na bhavitum arhati. Anabhidhanat. Nobody in last 1000, 2000 years, 5000 years has used this, and we are not scholar enough to start a new prayoga like this. So anabhidhanat na bhavati ityeva alam. Adityam pashyati ityatra anabhidhanat na bhavati. Let's take a look at Kashika. Some very interesting stuff Kashika Kara mentions over here. Something not directly related to this sutra, but he goes a little bit detail in the Shastra. Trividham karma nirvartyam vikaryam prapyam cha iti सर्वत्र कर्मणि उपपदे धातोः अण प्रत्ययः भवति. He says karma is of three types. In general, when you say karma, given by the sutra kartrureepsitatamam karma, this karma is of three types. What are the three types? Nirvartyam, vikaryam, and prapyam. Let's quickly go through one by one. We will not go in details because again, this is the topic of Karaka Prakaranam. What is Nirvartyam karma? A karma or an object that does not exist before the action and it comes into existence after that action is called a Nirvartya karma. So simple example is Kumbham Karoti. When the pot maker, when that Devadatta is creating a pot, the pot does not exist before. Maybe it exists in form of some soil and water and all that, but we don't talk about that. The pot as such object, it does not exist before. It only starts existing after that particular action. Such a karma is called nirvartya. So let's see, Nyasa explains this. Tatra nirvartyam yat asat eva utpadyate. Asat, it does not exist earlier. Now it is generated because or created. It comes into existence because of that kriya. Kumbham karoti. Chitram karoti. The picture did not exist earlier. Now it has come into existence. So tatra nirvartyam yat asad eva utpadyate. Yatha kumbham karoti. Nagaram karoti. And so on. Kumbhadikam hi avidyamanam eva utpadyate, did not exist but now comes to existence. Iti nirvartyam karma. So this is a nirvartya, first type of karma. The second type of karma, vikarya, is the one that undergoes some type of transformation due to that kriya. So say somebody cuts a tree. Then the tree already existed. The tree has got transformed. Tasya vikaraha bhavati. It gets changed. The form of that tree gets changed due to that action. So annam khadati. The food was there on the plate. Now it has become into pieces mixed with gastric juices and so on. The form has changed. It existed earlier and now the form has changed. That's called vikarya. Vikaryam kim nama vikaryam yasya sat sataha eva. It already existed. The tree already existed before it was cut. The food already existed before it was eaten. So yasya sataha eva kashchid vikaraha vidhiyate. Some transformation has happened. Tad yatha kandam lunati, cuts down the particular log of wood. Kandam lunati, nagaram lunati. Sata eva kandadehe lavanena vikaraha vidhiyate. Because of that cutting process, the form is changed. That's called the vikarya karma. And the third karma is the one which is neither one of the two. So nothing happens to the karma. Patham pathati. Nothing happens to that particular chapter per se before you are reading and after you are reading. Chitram pashyati. Nothing happens to that particular picture before you are seeing and after you are seeing. Maybe there is some transformation inside you. So Gitam pathati. Maybe your brain is enlightened with the message from the Gita, but nothing happens to the karma per se. So the third is prapyam. So the third one he says prapyam na asata eva utpadanam kriyate. So it's not something that comes into existence. It's always there. Napi satah eva vikaradhanam. And not that it gets destroyed. The patha is not going to get destroyed when you read it. Kevalam kriya sambandha matram pratiyate. Just a relationship with the kriya is being told. Yatha vedam adhite. Studies the Vedas. Charcham parayati. Discusses something. Atrahi adhyayanadina vedadehe sambandha matram pratiyate. Merely a relationship between the process of studying and the Vedas is being indicated. Vedas are neither being constructed because of the study, nor being destroyed because of the study, or nor being transformed because of the study. न तु असत एव उत्पादनम नापि सतः एव अन्यथा लक्षणः विकारः. Not that it gets transformed also. That's the prapya karma. Why does he go into so much details? Nirvartya, vikarya, prapya, sarvatra anapratyah bhavati. You can find examples of nirvartya karma like kumbhakaraha. Kumbham karoti. That's an example of nirvartyam karma. Vikaryam karma, kandalavaha, sharalavaha. You have an example of transformation. Prapyam karma, the third type, Vedadhyayaha, Charchaparaha, and so on. So he says, Sarvatra ityasya kaha arthaha? त्रिप्रकारे विशेष अनुपादानात्. विशेषं तत्र किमपि नास्ति. एतद् विकार्यं कर्म अस्ति अत एव प्रत्ययः भवेत्, एतद् प्राप्यं कर्म अस्ति अत एव प्रत्ययः भवेत्, एतादृशं किमपि नास्ति. कीदृशम् अपि कर्म स्यात् तत्र प्रत्ययः अवश्यं भवितुम् अर्हति, परन्तु कदा भवति? अभिधानं शिष्टप्रयोगः अस्ति चेदेव भवति. अतः सः अग्रे स्पष्टीकरोति, ग्रामं गच्छति, आदित्यं पश्यति, हिमवन्तं शृणोति इत्यत्र anabhidhanat na bhavati. Very simple. There is nothing more to this sutra except a few two vartikas are there, which will take 5 more minutes. So that's all about this sutra. One thing that you have to understand is anapratyaya is the default pratyaya for upapada, presence of upapada, which will be overridden by subsequent pratyayas that we learn in the upcoming classes. How do we write the pratyaya for ana? Let's simple actually. Let's take a quick look. Ana pratyaya ardhadhatuka asti, nit asti. You have ana. It ayogya asti. Now because it is a nitta pratyaya and it is a ajadi asti, ataha anvul pratyaya sadrushi. Anvul becomes akka. This becomes a. So very simple prakriya, and also ana is there. So all the nit karyas will happen. Prakriya anvul pratyaya sadrushi eva. Kaha visheshaha? प्रत्यय विधानम उपपदस्य उपस्थितौ भवति, शिष्ट प्रयोगम अनुसृत्य भवति इति विशेषः. You don't get the pratyaya without the shishta prayoga or without the upapada. And you could have said na. So instead of saying ana, he could have just said na plus a, which is na. So why does he invert the pratyaya and say ana? Na, because we have already seen the na pratyaya earlier. So he could have just reused that pratyaya. So na iti uchchamane ana iti pratyay vidhanam stritve vivakshite neep pratyay vidhanartham. So there is a tidhana sutra which has ana present in it. Any word that ends in ana gets a nipa pratyaya when a stri pratyaya or feminine form is expected. So kumbham karoti iti kumbhakari neep pratyaya bhavati. If it would have been just ana pratyaya, then you could have got kumbhakara. Tap pratyaya would have tatra agatah syat. Parantu atra neep iti pratyayah ishyate. Atah atra ana iti pratyay vidhanam krutam asti. See how beautifully he has designed the whole system. I mean, it's just two letters ordered differently. Na plus a will give na, and na plus a will give na, which is the same thing. A plus na will give ana, which is again the same thing. Both of them are just a pratyayas. But even the ordering of these letters matters, because that ordering has a deep significance related to the stri pratyayas over here. And this is the prakriya. So you start with the laukika vigraha, kumbham karoti, start with the dhatu, get the upapada, and then get the pratyaya. You can get both of them in the single step. So, but remember, first the upapada comes, then the pratyaya comes. Upapadasya upasthito and pratyaya is very important. तदनन्तरम् अग्रे सामान्यरूपेण प्रक्रिया उपपद समासः भवति, कर्तृकर्मणो कृति इति षष्ठी विभक्ति कुंभ प्लस नस and so on. Normally you get kumbhakara, pada nirmanam kumbhakaraha. Nothing specific on this particular slide. Sorry, one last slide I think, or two last slides. There are certain vartikas, actually simple. I'll just run through this slide and we'll go ahead. Karmanyana ityatra vartika dvayam uchyate. Shili kami bhaksha acharibhyo naha. So shili kami. So shili kami bhaksha. All these uttarapadas and achara. When all these words come as uttarapada, you get an a pratyaya instead of ana. Obviously, the reversal of the pratyaya is done because of stri pratyaya, because the specific requirement for the stri pratyaya. So, Shilakami bhaksha acharibhyo naha purva pada prakriti swaratvam cha vaktavyam. Specific swara is told. पूर्वपद प्रकृतिस्वरत्वं च वक्तव्यं. मांसशीलः, मांसशीला. So शील gets an gets an pratyaya. मांसशील, मांसशीला, मांसकामः, मांसकामा, मांसभक्षः, मांसभक्षा, and so on. So specific words have been given. These words get an pratyaya. When these words occur as an uttarapada, they will get an pratyaya in presence of a karmani upapada. So mamsam is karmani upapada. So you get mamsashilaha, mamsashila, and so on. Second vartika, ikshakshmibhyam cha iti vaktavyam. Iksha dhatu and kshama dhatu bahukshamaha or sukha pratikshaha ubhayatra punarekvaram no iti pratyah bhavati. So two specific situations he has given where instead of ana pratyaya is being told because he wants feminine forms with a tap. Sukha pratiksha, the one who is wanting or in the is waiting for the happiness. Sukha pratiksha, bahukshamaha, bahukshama, and so on. So let's quickly read Kaumudi. Shilika mi bhakshacharibhyo naha. So shili kami bhakshacharibhyo naha. Anopavadartham vartikam. This is pretty clear. Anopavadartham vartikam. Mamsashila, mamsakama, mamsabhaksha, and so on. Similarly, ikshikshamibhyam ch, and so on. And then he says, Katham tarhi gangadhara bhudharayaha bhudharadayaha. So how do the words gangadhara or bhudhara are generated? Now this has nothing to do with Vartika. He's basically asking a question. How is the word gangadhara generated? Because Ganga is an upapada. If dhru is to be considered the dhatu, then anapratyaya will come. It will give a vruddhi causing gangadhara. So gangadhara iti bhavet, bhudhara iti bhavet. Tarhi katham gangadharaha iti shabdaha siddhyati. तस्य उत्तरं सः वदति कर्मणः शेषत्व विवक्षायां भविष्यन्ति. So he is saying गंगाधर भूधर इत्यत्र वस्तुतः तु कर्मण्यण इत्यनेन अण् प्रत्ययः भवेत्, परन्तु अण् प्रत्ययः तत्र क्रियते चेत् गंगाधार भूधार इति शब्दाः सिद्ध्यन्ति. अस्माकं कृते तु गंगाधर इति शब्दः इष्यते, अतः अत्र अण् प्रत्ययः नैव भवति. धरति इति धरः, गंगायाः धरः गंगाधरः इति षष्ठी समासेन रूपसिद्धिः करणीया. सो कर्मण्यणि गंगाधार इति स्यात् इति आक्षेपः, परन्तु अत्र न अण्, कर्मोपपदाभावात् न अण्. So this is not Gangam Dharati at all. This is Gangayaha Dharaha Gangadharaha is what he is trying to justify. Dhru Dhara plus Ach will give Dhru plus Ach will give Dhara. Acha pratyaya is in the Nandigrahi Pachadibhyanacha. You don't get any upapada at all, and then you say Gangayaha Dharaha, giving Gangadharaha. So Gangadhara, Bhudhara, essentially a trick has been employed to justify existing prayogas like Gangadhara, Bhudhara, and so on. So Gangadhara, Bhudhara, dayaha shabdaha etadrusham ach pratyam krutva siddhyanti tatra an pratyayaha nasti eva iti bhavaha. So I think that's all. This is a sample list of anapratyanta words that you come across in the Sahitya. So as I have been saying again and again, and one last time I'll say, randomly dhatum svikrutya anapratyaya na yojaniyaha tatra, or random dhatu and random upapada you should not have anapratyaya. What you should have is anapratyayyojanam shishta prayoga manusrutya eva karaniyam. Atra kechana shabdaha santi udaharana rupena sthapitaha. These are not all the words. Some of the examples taken from literature I have just presented over here. Some of them are very well known. So Dwarpala, Gopala, Nagarakara, Vedadhyaya, Dhanurveda, Pishacha, very well known words. Some of them are not really well known. Vadabasandaya or Payova is also very well known. Or say Ivapakaha, Yutkaraha, Vyokaraha may not be very well known. But these are the words that are there in the Loka. So I think that's it for now. There is one more thing I want to discuss, but let's first look at the exercises and then I'll talk some instructions basically for the course. So let's come back to the discussion. Sarva prathamam abhyasam pashyamaha. उपपदस्य उपस्थितौ अणप्रत्ययः। प्रथमः प्रश्नः एकवाक्येन उत्तराणि लिखत। सो उपसर्गाणां गतिसंज्ञा केन सूत्रेण भवति? I have told this. This is a specific question where the table does not give you the answer. Try to find it from the sutra patha. So upapadasya karakam karana karakam. The upapada must be in the karana karaka and the krudanta must be in the kartru karaka. Krudantena nirdishtam karakam kartru karakam. Can you find the example where you have upapada as a karana karaka and krudanta as a kartru karaka? So that's this question. तृतीयाध्यायस्य द्वितीयपादे अण् प्रत्ययस्य बाधकरूपेण के अपवादाः उक्ताः सन्ति? अण् प्रत्ययस्य स्थाने ण प्रत्ययः क्रियते चेत् किं भवेत्? सो आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड दिस. गंगाधर इति शब्दः कथं सिद्ध्यति? आई हैव एक्सप्लेन्ड दिस. The second question is very interesting. I have taken a small piece of bhashya from Karmanyana. Try to understand what it says and explain it in simple language, in your own language. So कर्मण्यण सूत्रस्य महाभाष्य व्याख्यानस्य एकः अंशः अत्र दत्तः अस्ति. अस्य अर्थं स्वभाषया लिखत. I will not read this whole thing. This is not a simple exercise. This is a little complex, but it's definitely doable. The bhashya for Karmanyana is very huge. Only some 3-4 lines have been taken and presented over here. Please try to interpret it. If you want, you are most welcome to refer to Udyota or Pradeepa, any other translation of Mahabhashya that you have to get the answer to this particular question. The point is we need to start learning how to interpret Bhashya. That's the reason this exercise is given. Okay, so that's it about the coursework. So tomorrow there'll definitely be a class and we will start with the remaining set of sutras. So I think we have completed, today we have completed Karmanyana. There is nothing in Karmanyana. Tomorrow we will take next 2 sutras, Vavamascha and Atonupasarge Kaha. Just 2 sutras and there's a lot more to discuss in these 2 sutras. So Samapayamaha Shvastana Varge Agrima Sutrayoho Adhyenam Prarabhamahe. अष्टाध्यायी जगन्माता यस्य चित्तात् समुत्थिता वेदानाम् उपकाराय तस्मै पाणिनये नमः. शब्द ब्रह्म समाराध्य कृतवान्यो विलक्षणं सर्वाश्चर्यमिदं शास्त्रं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः. येन धौता गिरः पुंसां विमलैः शब्दवारिभिः तमश्चाज्ञानजं भिन्नं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः. धन्यवाद.